Hello, my name is Samuel Isaacson, and today I will be talking about my research on anonymity on today's internet. Here is some background information about anonymity. It is the ability to browse the internet without revealing your true identity. And there are two parts of anonymity, total and partial. Total is not revealing any information about yourself to any services such as Google or cookie tracking advertising companies. Partial anonymity is revealing the identifying information, such as your IP address and stuff like that, to those services such as Google, but they hide that information from the general public. There are some ways to become anonymous online through VPNs and proxy servers, which reroute your IP address, and some privacy-based browsers such as Tor, aka the Onion browser, which does that same sort of pattern as VPNs do with your IP address. And lastly, there's a pseudonym or an alias, which you go by a fake name so people do not know your true identity. And the impact of anonymity on the internet is it promotes freedom of speech, but if misused, can lead to harmful behavior. So some pros/benefits is it limits the amount of personal data that can be collected, and users can prevent the use of cookies and other tracking data by advertising companies to prevent their data being collected and stored. And users can protect their true identities from one another. And in cases of domestic violence, speaking out against that partner while remaining anonymous really creates a safe haven and allows the user to the victim to speak freely. And users are allowed to speak freely without prosecution, such as in countries with oppressive regimes. Users are able to speak out against their government, talk about all the wrongs they're doing without fear of their life. And the last pro is it facilitates unbiased information sharing, aka whistleblowers are able to share sensitive information and expose all the wrongs without risking their life or personal repercussions such as losing their job. And some cons/drawbacks of anonymity on the internet is the powerless now are powerful. And this means that people that are usually shy in person, don't really talk, feel powerless, maybe self-conscious about their image. Once they go on the internet, they could become a cyberbully and just say anything they want without any repercussions. And another con is it's also the unprecedented rise in identity theft, where anonymity tools can be exploited so that criminals could steal personal information and act as that person online. And lastly, it creates challenges for law enforcement as anonymity makes those criminals anonymous, and those crimes that they commit makes it much harder for law enforcement to track them, and this could hinder/slow down investigations entirely. So some implications of anonymity is it affects everyone in every way. And the reasons to care is we need to protect our privacy and freedom of speech, as this allows individuals to express their opinions without their lives being put in danger. And it has a great impact on our social behavior, as it encourages users to speak out, which also can increase cyberbullying and harassment online. And we talked about challenges for law enforcement, as being anonymous hinders the government's ability to track the criminals, and this could slow down the investigation, as we said. And lastly, we need to think about the ethical and legal considerations for the future, as laws need to be put in place to get all those negatives of being anonymous out while maintaining and keeping the positives. And lastly, an action plan / recommendations for anonymity for the future is to promote the responsible use of these tools online, as if we educate the public about how to safely use these tools and the punishments for misusing them, we can all become more informed and safer. And we need to strengthen our cybersecurity measures to decrease the amount of personal data that's being collected and stored, which will eventually prevent cyber crimes. And we can use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication, such as biometrics, to prevent this. And lastly, we need to create a safe haven for victims of cyberbullying, where we need to make those that have been affected by cyberbullying feel like the internet is a safe place, which means we can provide mental health services, educational programs, and outside legal assistance to help. And here are my sources, and thank you very much for watching.